Stephanie Rule on the phone with us. Stephanie, thanks so much for that late reporting. I want to bring in Congressman John Garamendi. He's from California. He's a Democrat, and you are nodding your head as Stephanie Rule reported that. She's talking about moderate Republicans. You're a Democrat, but you had similar concerns. And do you think that's on point, that members were concerned about going back home and having labor unions say, well, I don't want this?
This is the Labor Secretary. We're talking about working men and women. The Labor Secretary ought to be supporting working men and women, their positions, whether it's the minimum wage or work rules and all of that. Understand you've got to have some balance here, but this is labor, working men and women. This fellow came from the other side. His record on working men and women is simply not good. That was clearly a problem with the Democrats, and I think also the Republicans who had to face the folks back home.
Do you think Democrats will claim victory here? A reporter earlier said it's the first scalp.
Well, there's been 2 scalps in the last 2 days, right?
You count Flynn.
You got Mr. Flynn, and then you've got this situation. It's not about scalps. It's about getting good people into these jobs with the correct balance that can grow the economy, provide the good jobs for men and women at decent wages. That's what it's all about. Now, Flynn, National Security Advisor, became a national security threat. Boom, he's gone, inappropriately so. He was a problem. Now this is a different situation with this Labor Secretary.
Well, they'll have to find someone else now. Do you think you'll be able to support someone
no idea.
they put up?
We'll see who
it is. I have to ask you while you're here, the reason we actually asked you to come in the first place was the area that you represent in California is a district that contains some of the towns affected by the Oroville Dam situation, right? And obviously people know that we're in a waiting game. It looks better today, but you've got rainy weather coming.
All correct. 150,000 of my constituents had to leave town, had to leave Marysville, Yuba City, about 15 miles downriver from the lake. Oroville, which is not in my district, 15,000 people. If that 30-foot high concrete wall had collapsed, there'd be a disaster. 100 feet of water over that town within a matter of an hour.
They've been taking helicopters, as you know, and bringing bags full of boulders, essentially.
Rice bags, actually.
Right? Rice bags. And putting those to it looks kind of primitive when you see what they're doing. Will that work? And is that a long-term solution? Oh,
absolutely not a long-term solution, but it is an immediate solution. What was happening as that water spilled over this temporary emergency spillway, it was eroding the foundation of that 30-foot wall. Fortunately, they're able to expel 100,000 cubic feet per second, lowering the lake, stopping the water from going over the emergency spillway, stopping the erosion. Now, those bags, 1,000 pounds of rocks in those 4 different holes to stabilize the situation, but it is temporary for sure.
The White House says it's why they need infrastructure spending.
Well, they're quite correct about that, and it's not just this dam and rebuilding, $200 million problem here, but all the levees in California, the flood control. Fortunately, downriver, there was a major flood control effort in place, $700 million spent to shore up the river. But you get a 30-foot wall of water coming down that river. It's a wipeout.
Nothing can hold it back.
Nothing's going to hold it back.
Well, we hope for the best for your constituents, obviously. Hope they get back home safely.
Well, they're headed back home, but they have to be prepared to leave. New rainstorm coming in.
All right. Congressman John Garamendi, nice to see you here on Capitol Hill. Thanks so much. Up next, an undocumented mother of 3 U.S.-born children now seeking refuge.